The Craxian fleet commander's tentacles trembled as he read the transmission one final time. 7 words. That was all humanity had sent before going dark across every communication channel in the galaxy. Since you chose war, let us show you how it's done. 3 solar cycles had passed since the Craxian Empire declared war on the primitive humans. They had expected swift victory against a species that had only achieved faster-than-light travel a mere century ago. The Galactic Council had warned them, but the Craxians dismissed it as sympathy for the newcomers. Now Commander Vextor floated in his command chamber, watching his tactical displays flicker with impossible readings. "Sir," his lieutenant gurgled through the communication membrane, "the humans, they're not where they should be." Vextor's 3 eyes narrowed. "Explain." "Earth is empty. Their colonies, their space stations, their entire fleet gone, as if they never existed." Meanwhile, in a dimension slightly askew from normal space, Mia Chen steadied herself against the railing of the USS Persistence. The phase shift technology made her stomach churn, but she'd grown used to it over the past months. Through the transparent aluminum viewport, she watched reality bend and twist in ways that shouldn't be possible. "Status report," Captain Leo Rodriguez commanded from his chair, his voice carrying the weight of humanity's survival. "All 12 billion souls accounted for," Mia reported, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "The Arc ships are maintaining formation in phase space. Agricultural stations are operating at full capacity. We can sustain this indefinitely." Leo nodded, his jaw tight. When the Craxians had bombarded New Geneva, killing 30,000 colonists without warning, humanity had made a choice. Not to fight back immediately, but to do something far more unsettling: disappear entirely. "How long until the Craxians realize what we've done?" Leo asked. Mia pulled up the quantum calculations. "Their technology can't detect phase-shifted matter. To them, we've simply vanished. But sir, that's not the concerning part." "Go on." "The virus we left behind in our abandoned systems, it's spreading through their networks faster than projected. Every time they scan our empty worlds, it replicates deeper into their infrastructure." Back in regular space, Commander Vextor's fleet approached Earth cautiously. The blue-green world spun peacefully, its cities dark, its orbital defenses offline. It was too quiet, too easy. "Scan everything," Vextor ordered. This must be a trap. His science officer's tentacles flew across the controls. No life signs. No energy signatures. It's as if they all just left. Impossible. 12 billion beings don't just vanish. A younger officer spoke up hesitantly. "Commander, there are legends. Stories of species that chose exile over extinction. The Void Dancers of Kelos 7 did something similar 3 millennia ago. They were never found." Vextor dismissed him with a gesture. "Humans are not Void Dancers. They're barely evolved primates. Continue the invasion. Claim their worlds for the Empire." As Craxian troops landed on the empty Earth, Mia watched from phase space, her expression grim. "They're taking the bait." Leo stood, straightening his uniform. "Initiate Stage 2. Across human space, dormant systems suddenly activated. Not weapons or defenses, but something far more insidious. Every piece of abandoned human technology began broadcasting a simple signal. A carrier wave that interfaced perfectly with Craxian neural implants. The message was elegant in its simplicity. Doubt. Commander Vextor felt it first, a whisper in his mind questioning his decisions. Why had the humans vanished? Where had they gone? What if they were watching? What if this was exactly what they wanted? Within hours, every Craxian in human space was experiencing the same creeping uncertainty. Their empire was built on absolute confidence in their superiority. Doubt was poison to their psychological makeup. "Sir," Mia reported, monitoring the effects, "Craxian fleet cohesion is breaking down. They're starting to question each other, their command structure, everything." Leo watched the tactical display showing Craxian ships beginning to drift out of formation. "How long until they're completely compromised?" "At this rate, 6 days until full paranoid breakdown. And then we return." Mia smiled coldly. "Then we return? To find their entire invasion force incapacitated by their own minds, their empire in chaos from the virus we seeded, and their military might turned inward as they suspect betrayal from within." Leo nodded slowly. "They wanted to see how humanity wages war. We don't just fight the body, we dismantle the mind. We don't meet force with force. We become the void that swallows overconfidence. As the Craxian Empire began to devour itself from within, humanity waited in the spaces between reality. They had learned the greatest lesson of survival. Sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't a gun or a bomb. Sometimes it's absence. Sometimes it's doubt. And sometimes the best way to win a war is to make your enemy defeat themselves. The last message from Human Command echoed across the galaxy, a promise fulfilled in the most unexpected way. They had indeed shown the Craxians how humanity waged war, not with brute strength, but with the terrifying precision of a species that had spent millennia perfecting the art of psychological warfare against themselves. When humanity finally phase-shifted back into normal space, they found the Craxian Empire in ruins, destroyed not by weapons, but by their own certainty turned against them. The galaxy would remember, when you declare war on humanity, they don't just fight back. They redefine the battlefield entirely.